Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So, it's been a little while since I have gone live. So, I've been on vacation this week with my grandkids. So, we had a blast. So, I am back, and today I want to share just some fun ways that you can use this month's paper pumpkin kit. So if you don't have the kit, that's okay because many of the different layouts that I'm using, you could probably substitute some other products to create these cards. So, good morning. Good morning. So, this is the kit. It's called Fun in the Sun. And this is the July Paper Pumpkin Kit. And it actually had 9 different cards. And then you created 3 of each of the 9 different cards, and these were fun fold cards. So let me show you one of the fun folds. Here we go. So this is what the kit card looks like. So it kind of folds down, and this is how it looks when it folds down. But when it opens up, it's one of these, what do you call this? A step card, I think. I don't know. It's kind of a cool card. So it took me a little bit to figure out how that fold works. So obviously, I haven't created one of these folds before. But, they are really cute little, cards, and so that's one of them. And then this was the other one, the other step card. Let me make this bigger here so you guys can see. There we go. So here's the other step card, and when you fold it down, it's just a really pretty scene, really pretty card. And then here's the third design with the little steps. So I created just one of each of the cards as it was intended with the kit. So I have 3 fun fold cards. And then I took the rest of the supplies and I created 20 more cards. So, well, actually, I should say it's a total of 20 cards that I created. So I had a lot of fun, and I'm going to share just 3 of those designs with you. I'll just kind of walk you through what I did with 3 of them, and then I'll show you the other cards. Because basically, what I did is I took this fun fold card base and I just cut it into pieces. So I'm going to show you that. So, good morning. Good morning, everybody. All right, so let's start. I guess we could start with this one. Let's start with this one. So, of course, I added my own supplies. The kit comes with all the supplies you need to make the fun fold cards. But since I cut apart the fun fold cards, I had to put in my own supplies. So I'm using some crumb cake cardstock for the base of my card. And all my cards that I created separately from the kit, they all have the same measurements. So this is a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece of cardstock, and it's just scored in the middle at 4.25 inches. So that's the card base that I used for all of them. And then what I did is I took some of the pieces from the kit and I just decided instead of attaching these to the fun fold card. So, for example, this little piece here actually sits right here on one of those steps of the fun fold card. So instead of adhering that to the fun fold card, I decided to create additional cards with all the different pieces that came in the kit. So I hope that makes sense. So let me just grab a couple things here. This stamp set is the stamp set that came in the kit. So I'll put it on this card base so you can kind of see it. So that's the stamp set. It has a variety of different greetings in it, and then a couple has a little sun and a little starfish in it. So I am going to take a couple of these out of here. So let me just get these set up. Whoop. Put my blocks too far away, apparently. My big stretching this morning is grabbing my blocks. Okay, let me grab this. So what I did with this one is I used some crumb cake ink to stamp my greeting, and I stamped it right on one of those little pieces here. So this is one of the pieces from the kit. And where'd my crumb cake ink go? Here it is. Boy, take a week off and then you can't concentrate. All right, so if you just joined me, I spent the week with my grandkids, so that was a lot of fun. So I'm back today. So I'm just going to stamp this little Hello Sunshine right on this little piece because this is going to be the bottom part of our card. And then all I did was just really layer these pieces together. So again, these are all the pieces um, from the kit. This is actually a piece that I cut off of the card base. And these pieces, I believe, are 3.5 inches. Let me just look here. Yep. So these pieces are 3.5 inches wide. So I just cut this card base. This was one of the colors on one of the card bases. So I started by just adhering that to the top. So I used all the scraps, every single scrap from this kit. So we'll just add this right up at the top. Let's kind of center it a little bit. And then these pieces, I just adhered them together. I just tried to create like a little scene here, with the water and then with the sand. And so I adhered these together first. So just the top part. And hopefully that's straight. Doesn't look straight, does it? There we go. And then I added some dimensionals and popped it up. So that's how simple it is to just kind of take that card base or the pieces for the card base and then the pieces for the fun fold cards to just create an additional card. So there's lots of different pieces that go into each fun fold card in the kit. So you do have lots of different pieces that you can use to create more cards, which is why I ended up creating, I think it's just shy of 20 cards, but I have a couple of um, duplicate cards that I have to put together yet. So I think once I get done, I'll have over 20 cards that I created with a kit where you would only create 9 fun fold cards. So I hope that makes sense. It'll make sense when I show you the other cards. All right, so this one I just popped up to give it a little bit more depth and dimension. So now the tricky part is lining it up. And that's it. That's all it is. And then I just used the little gems that were in the kit to decorate the card. So very simple, but just a really pretty card. I just really like that one. And this one is kind of the same concept, except for this one uses the pieces, some of the pieces from this fun fold card. So you got the little boat and then you have this little scene behind it. So this time I decided to use, let me just grab this here so you can see it. This time I decided to use that Azure Afternoon for the base of my card. So that's the blue color here. And then I just cut a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of white cardstock. And then this piece just gets adhered right to the top part of this white cardstock. So again, if you're just joining me, these are all the pieces for creating the fun fold cards in this month's Paper Pumpkin. All right, so I'll just go ahead and put this on right away. All right, so that's the top part of the card. And then we have our little boat. And then I have a little extra piece here that I used for the sand, to create the sand. So basically what I did is just took this piece and lined it up with this line here on the boat, kind of like that. So we'll just adhere that. I just kind of covered that up a little bit. And then we can just go ahead and pop this up on the card. So I'm giving you some really simple ideas, some fun ways to use, um, just to use this kit differently. You don't have to do this. I'm going to just trim this off here because I can see that it's a little bit bigger. I'll just trim off that side. So you don't have to, do this, but if you want to kind of stretch your paper pumpkin kit, this is a great way to do it. Just play around with the different pieces. That's actually what I did. I just kind of played around with all the different pieces and till I created some kind of design that I liked. And then we can just add our greeting. There you go. Okay. Oop. So that is the second card. Sorry about that. I got a pop up on the screen. All right. And then the third one, I just used, this other piece here. So this piece fits in the back here on this fun fold, this little chair. And then I just decided to create a different card with it. So for this one, I started with a piece of white cardstock. And then I wanted to offset this a little bit so that I could stamp that sun there. So the sun image comes in the paper pumpkin kit. That's one of the images from the exclusive stamp set. And in the kit, you get a little Daffodil Delight Stampin' Spot. But I'm just using my regular Daffodil Delight here. And I basically just want the sun kind of off to the side. And then we will add our piece. So you could say I'm bringing my own sunshine, right? Oh, that was a bad joke. All right, so then we'll just add that piece. And then we'll pop up this little chair. So this is one of the die cut shapes from the kit. So we can pop this up. We'll put that on there. And then this is also one of the little die cut shapes for the greetings. So I just stamp that greeting on there, and then I just kind of put it off to the side. And then you can just embellish it with whatever you want. So those were just some really simple ways to use the kit differently if you wanted to. And if you've already used your kit, typically you can get refills of the kit. So don't fret if you've already used it. Hopefully you can get a refill and then you can make these cards. So those are the first three cards that I wanted to show you. So let me bring those back so you can see them. So those are the three that I just walked you through. But then I also created some other cards. So I have a whole stack of cards here. So this one just uses the palm trees. So this was one of the images or one of the die cut shapes that was in the kit. So I just cut apart those card bases and then just kind of layered different pieces together to create this card. So it just was a lot of fun. This is the same kind of design, except for I put it on some Daffodil Delight cardstock instead of just on the white cardstock, but it's the exact same design. Let's see, let's move these up so you can see them a little bit. And then here's another design. So this one, what I did is if you still have the envelopes from the kit, I just cut off one of the envelope, what do you call it? Flap, an envelope flap. I just cut off the envelope flap and you can cut it down to a 5-inch piece. And then I just cut it so that I could keep all those different colors together. So I think it came out to be right around 1¼ inches wide. So this is 1¼ inches wide. It's 5 inches long. And then I just added some other little pieces that I cut from the card bases. I just used up all the card bases and kind of tucked them in to create this little card. And then this one, This one I should probably give to my husband because I was kind of crabby yesterday. So I should probably give this to him today. But then just another fun way to use the kit. And then here, these two cards, I used up all the scraps. So all the different scrap pieces that I had, like this one in particular, I just layered them all together, just kind of laid them out until I came up with a design that I liked and used up all those scraps. So these are just scraps, like this yellow here is just scraps of the card base. So here's the yellow card base. So I literally cut up the entire card base and then just use these little scraps all over the place. So those are some of the fun cards. Here, let me move these out of the way. Those are a couple more fun cards for you. And then I have these as well. So then I had to use up these big long pieces. So these big long pieces are the pieces that go across the front of the fun fold cards. So they're very long and then they have their little design. Like that one's the umbrella, this one's the surfing boards. So I just use these big long pieces. And again, I just kind of patched together different pieces of the card base to create just kind of a fun little scene. So that's one. And here I did the same thing. This is the card base. This little piece behind here, this crumb cake color, is actually one of the folds in the card base. But it works good for a background. So, and then here are the other two cards. So just a lot of fun ways that you guys can use this kit to create a whole bunch of cards. I think that's probably my favorite thing about the kits is that I like to take them and make the card as it was intended, but then I also like to just cut apart the pieces and create a variety of different cards just by adding my own supplies. So very minimal supplies of my own went into this, basically just the card bases and maybe a different ink color. But for the most part, I used every single thing in this kit. So I hope you guys enjoyed just a look into this kit. And I'll get all these cards out on the blog for you. And I'll try to include, the different measurements and stuff that I used to create the cards, especially these cards with the scraps. I'll provide all that for you. But I just wanted to share the kit. It was a fun kit. I actually do have an extra one. So if you missed out on the kit, just feel free to reach out to me through my website. Just go to stamptasticdesigns.com and just go to the contact page and reach out to me. I do have one extra kit. So if you missed it, you're lucky this month because I have an extra one. So all right. So I hope you enjoyed that. You can go take a look at some of my past paper pumpkin alternatives out on YouTube. You can also find them on my blog. And then I did provide a link to Paper Pumpkin. This next month coming up, the Paper Pumpkin kit looks very pretty. I'm very much into flowers. So if you like flowers, check out this next month's Paper Pumpkin kit as well. And for those of you that are not subscribers yet, I do provide a monthly tutorial that has 12 different alternate ideas. So if you are a subscriber of mine, you'll be getting that. Usually I send it out at the end of each month because I partner with 11 other demonstrators to put that together. So there you go. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you again next week. So take care, everybody.